So it's not time to rake the leaves yet, but there are some things great gardeners do to spiff up their yards from summer to fall. I'm with horticulturist Sheriden Hansen. She's got a checklist for us. We are beginning fall cleanup.
We are, and so now it's time to get out in the yard and get busy. What you do now will also help your yard in the spring, so it's not time to sit back. So things we want to think about, we want to reduce the irrigation in our turf. We're cooling off, we don't need so much water, so be really conscious about that. And as you're doing that and thinking about turf, now's the best time to control weeds. So if you've got dandelions, things like that, adding a broadleaf weed killer, and you can add a dose of fertilizer at the same time to stimulate that growth and get your turf looking great for next spring.
You want us to deadhead and cut back our perennials.
I do. So as these perennials start to fade, it's a great time for you to deadhead, cut things back, keep things looking kind of spiffy in the garden so you don't have that dead look.
Do our trees need any love this time of year?
They do. So deep watering trees is really important to do. So especially with conifers, as we get closer to winter, we want to make sure that there's a lot of water down around that root zone, not flooded, but enough for them to access.
And as the leaves start to fall?
Yes, we're going to rake up those leaves because we're not there yet, but it's coming. We're going to rake those up and we're going to stash those where we can either compost them or use them as mulch in our gardens. It's a great use of some of that material.
And then take us to the vegetable garden. What should we do there?
So the vegetable garden, it's time to start cleaning up. As plants die back, clean those out. Don't leave diseased plants in your yard, and consider putting a cover crop in. That will help to hold nitrogen and the topsoil in and really improve your soil health.
And what's the timing of a cover crop? What is that? Define that for us.
A cover crop is it's basically a cover. So we're going to plant another type of plant on top of our soil, so it's going to grow up, and then in the spring we typically turn it under.
Okay.
So it pulls nutrients up from deeper in the soil, sometimes fixes nitrogen, so we have a rich nitrogen soil, and then as we turn it over and it breaks down, it adds organic matter to the soil.
And that will happen in the spring.
And that will happen in the spring.
But we can plant it now.
We plant it now.
Like what do we plant?
So there's Austrian peas, there's oats, there's all different types that you can plant that are wonderful. There's a radish that's excellent as well.
Okay,
so, yeah.
Sheriden, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Kind of an early list, but we're forecasting ahead to help you get those gardens in great shape now, and also, as Sheriden mentioned, enjoy the payoff later, come spring. It's funny we're already talking about spring in the future. It feels like it was just yesterday, but no, here we are.